Bum bum ba bum. Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum. Do 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 do. Daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. Hello, everybody. What's cracking? Hanging out. Good job on the Log Call Gauntlet. Some parts were hard to watch, but it was a good gauntlet. Okay. It's like shades, boy. How you doing? These are not shades. These are my eyeglasses. And they have transitions. So when I'm outside, they're sunglasses. I'm doing well. Thank you. Howdy, Richard. Third day in a row doing nothing at work and not getting paid. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. How should I make friends as a 30-year-old man? Same way you made friends when you were a 12-year-old boy. It's the same concept. You go somewhere with people that might have, like, similar interests, and you introduce yourself, and you make a friend. It's eating a chalupa on break at work. Yeah, get you that chalupa. I get the black bean chalupa now because I don't like the fucking Taco Bell meat. So I get like a black bean chalupa supreme, maybe a bean burrito. That's my go-to. Daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. I feel daddy as fuck. Daddy as fuck. Black bean chalupa supreme, black bean crunch wrap. Oh, I've gotten that one too. Yeah, I like that. What is? I'm curious to hear your funniest drunk stories. I don't know, man. I can't just like summon a story sometimes, you know. Like I've got a lot of funny drunk stories, but I don't know if I'm in the mood. Let's wind it up a little bit here. Okay, let's try and see if we can have a normal flow of conversation. If it gets there, it gets there. I didn't know that Return of the Living Dead popularized the trope of zombies eating brains. It did. Taco Bell chips are made fresh. Makes sense because they're good. They are, yeah. Nice. Good job, Phoebes. Stick with it. It pays off. I'm telling you, man. All I can say is that it pays dividends to stay with one job. By the time I was, halfway through my tenure at Starbucks, I was making almost double what a new hire made. Just from steps up in responsibility and merit increases over the initial 4 years. I was making almost double. So it's worth it. If you find a job that you think is chill, it's worth it to stick with it. And showing that you have long-term employment helps you get better jobs. So if you can actually put down, I worked 4 years at a Taco Bell, or I worked for 2 years at a Taco Bell, that looks really good when you're trying to get a better job. Shows that you're a reliable worker. Nobody works 4 years anywhere and fucks off, So, you're doing good, though. That's good shit. Just keep holding it down. I've only called out 3 times since I got here, too. Good. That's good. Paul just finished watching the Voosh video. Beautifully laid down stuff. Thanks. Cricket is good and settled down. Just need to wait another hour to get on the plane. Yeah, baby. You doing good. Take care of that angry boy. Amelia's got a little bit of a family emergency, so we got her on a plane to go visit her family today. She's going to be gone for a week. And those of you that know me know that I'm not good in bachelor status, okay? But me and Dinor have been here before. We're going to make it. I just don't like being apart from Amelia at all. Like, we don't ever do it. Like, it's very... Is she doing okay? She's fine. She's a very strong person. She's got it. She's going, to help her family and stuff and to be there for her family. I just couldn't do it this time with her because we got shows, we got plans this week. I've got doctor's appointments, and we're planning a trip towards the end of this month anyway, so it would be like double dipping a trip. Just couldn't do it, but we will keep you company. Yeah. And you can also come and keep me company, now that I got a few of you here, over at discord.gg/Paul. 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 Let me hear it. What you say? Discord.gg/Paul. Right? Salt Rackus. That's my Discord server. And I legit hang out over there all the time, just in chat, chilling and smoking weed and talking about stuff and playing video games. So if you want to do that and hang out with me, you can join. Paul, would you do a podcast with any breadtuber type or Destiny? Sure. I'll go on any show as long as they're willing to just accommodate my schedule and stuff. I'm really not afraid of talking to anybody. Got itchy ear, D? You need Dad to scratch your ear? We're going to take a bath tonight, you and me. Yeah, we're going to go have a bath together. Discord is for Zoomers. Okay, that's cool, man. Nobody asked you to come. Nobody's forcing you to come and be on to hang out. Okay, that's cool. When's the OnlyFans dropping? Never. Have you ever fell out with TJ? Big arguments? No. I mean, we've had big arguments about things, but I would never call it a falling out. Like TJ and we yelled and screamed at each other, mostly about business stuff, honestly, just disagreements. And we always come to an agreement. Like TJ and I, well, like the guys and I, the Kirks and I are not just co-workers, we're friends. We keep each other abreast of like what's going on in our lives outside of work and our personal stuff. We're chill. We always have been chill. Like part of, like, I hate to say it, I'm not, trying to dissuade other people from trying to make friends with me, but part of being my friend is like arguing with me. I'm a hard-headed, argumentative, opinionated loudmouth. And if you don't like that about me, I'm 44, you may as well give up on the idea of trying to change me and just walk away and find another friend. I don't, but I don't make any bones about that. I don't hide that from people up front. So it's like, you know what you get with me as a friend. And TJ, I think, and I are similar in that way. We say what we want. We get passionate when we have to. We're hard-headed. We're stubborn. We think we know what's best. All those things can kind of clash in a business environment. But both of us are older dudes and we're reasonable enough to kind of come to an agreement. And the same thing with Scotty. You know, I've had business disagreements with Scotty. We've argued, bickered back and forth at each other, yelled at each other, and then eventually we come to an agreement and we move forward as business partners and friends. So yeah, I got a good relationship with the guys. I'm very happy that I do too. I'd hate to be in a work relationship where it was like, I need to keep doing this for the money, but I hate the dudes I work with. You know, that would suck. No, I really like the dudes I work with. I think they're talented, they're funny, and I care a lot about them. And they were really good to me at a really low time in my life, and they never threw it in my face or try to make me feel bad about it. They helped me. They gave me a helping hand and a leg up in a business at a time when I had nothing, man, literally nothing. And I don't forget shit like that. You know what I mean? Scotty or TJ would have to really fuck me over to get me to say a bad word about them. Like, even if, you know, like the business broke up under angry circumstances or whatever, you're not going to catch me like shit talking TJ and Scotty, because you know what? Whatever they do in the future, I will always be grateful for the help that they gave me. And that, you know, that won't, like, anything that they do in the future that I may not disagree with or whatever will not erase that respect. And like, and honestly, I don't feel like it's a good thing either to burn bridges of people that you've worked with. Like, it's different to go on a show and bicker and argue with another personality, but it's like, if you've like shared studio time and air time with a person and that person's been in your head for hours and hours, you've been in theirs for hours and hours, like, even if things ended ugly, I don't really see anything positive ever come from when people that used to work together shit talk each other and make a big public drama about it, you know? That just ain't how I'd fucking operate myself personally or professionally, I guess. Man, it's nice out here today, but I can tell that like the summer heat is gonna start soon. I'm not looking forward to that. T, can you come here for a second? Can I get this little? Because you're starting a dreadlock over here, buddy. You're starting a dreadlock on your ear, and we just brushed. We just brushed. We just brushed your ear, and now you already almost got. Dad caught it this time. He almost had a dreadlock. We're taking a bath tonight, D. You and me. Rasta D. Yep. Yeah, man. You still plan on going to DC to fuck with politicians? Nothing firm yet, and I have a lot of travel already in the fucking pipes this year. We're doing an East Coast meetup. I'm gonna go meet with the guys at some point this year. We want to visit Amelia's family back east some point this year. So I have a lot of irons in the fire right now, but I'm really committed to looking into it and making sure that it's not going to be a fruitless trip. Like, what I would hate to do is plan it, go down there and find out like, oh, they only let you in for an hour during this, and you can't really approach anybody. Like, I want to make sure that I have clearance as a citizen to talk to my representatives as they come and go from their meetings, and as a member of the citizen media, the right to film it. If I can confirm those two things, then year, I wish I could just pick up stakes and go right now. Honestly, if this was last year at this time, I probably could within a couple of weeks put it together and just be there. But this year, man, I've been traveling so much. Money's a little tight. You know, I just have to watch my P's and Q's and stuff. I mean, this thing with Amelia just came up unforeseen, so it's like I have to watch it. I can't just go, you know. I wish I could, because I think now's a good time. But to be honest with you, any time is a good time to catch fucking members of Congress in hypocrisy and to ask them tough questions and see how they react to it. So I really want to do that. It's really appealing to me. And I think I could, at the very least, get some good fucking activism done in 1 or 2 weeks. Just camping my ass out, man. Of course, taking a big battery bank and my phone and live streaming the whole fucking time for you guys. You know, you guys would be keeping me company while I'm waiting for somebody to come, helping me do opposition research when I see somebody I don't recognize. Oh, that's the guy that supported this, that. You know what I mean? It'd be fun. I think it would be fun, right? And to be honest with you, if I did a little bit of crowdfunding, it wouldn't even really be a big fucking hit to my finances. Like, I don't mind paying, but you know, it would be nice if people want to see it. I really am promising to go down there and give you guys a week of daily streams, long streams where I'm down at Congress. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it would be cool if I could figure out a way for some people to buy into that, so it wasn't all hitting my wallet. Because, like I said, this year has been rough, bro. This year has been like a lot of travel and a lot of expenses and stuff. Amelia and I are moving towards the end of the summer. We're going to be moving pretty far away. It's already in the pipeline. You know, I just have a lot of shit on my plate this year, but towards the end of the year, I'm talking like November, which might be a really good time to be down there. November, maybe December, January, right around in there is where I'm kind of fucking tentatively looking, but don't hold me to that. It might need to be later. But I'm really interested in doing it. I really am. It's something I've wanted to do, you know, not necessarily that in that form, but I've wanted to do some activism for a while. And to be quite frank with you, like doing long marches and stuff, I'm getting in better shape, but I just don't have the physical capability right now, recovering from a long fucking period of illness and obesity and shit. And so I'm really trying to fucking put myself together. I don't know that I could do that, but what I could do is, you know what I mean? I could go down there. I could go down there. I could stand, sit on a bench when I needed the rest. I could be there all day. Like that I could do. And you know, bring some bottled water and fucking just get some people on quotes. Get some quotes from our fucking representatives down there and get some pressure applied. And look, if I have a good time doing that for a week and people seem to like it and it produces some fucking good content, I'll do it here at the local level. You know, maybe I'll hit up the California State House and do some of the same things and talk about some of the state level hypocrisy that I see every goddamn fucking day. See if I can get some answers about what the state level politicians plan to do about the growing homeless encampments. You know? See if I can get any of them to engage with me like I'm a human being and a citizen and their constituent. That's the point, right? So, like to see you ask Fetterman when he likes genocide. Yeah, if I can catch Hoodie Jesus, I'll catch that motherfucker. You know, like it'll require some research too, so I'm glad I'm not able to do it real quick because I really want to look into kind of like where do these people go? Like, where do people from Congress go hang out? What routes do they take to and from the building? What kind of little park areas are nearby that they might go chill at? Because I want to be making a circuit, you know? I want to plant myself there in the halls, and if it's just empty and there's no meetings going on, I want to walk around the perimeter and shit. I want to hit the parks and the benches, and I want to see if I can catch anybody, you know, out so I can talk to them. Just to ask them some questions. Ask them about how they feel about the ongoing bloodshed in Gaza and the Ukraine. Ask them how they feel about billions and billions of dollars being used to ship fucking weapons overseas when there are people starving under overpasses right here in fucking Washington, D.C. Like all of that type of stuff. Like why do we have priorities that include dropping bombs on brown people before helping people, poor Americans here? Why are we no longer talking as a fucking people about the educational system? Why is the educational system no longer being held up as a democratic priority? Why are kids being functionally graduated functional illiterates? And what does that mean? What does that brain drain mean for our future as a country? You know, how do you reconcile Joe Biden's horrible domestic policy when it comes to crushing peaceful protests, college kids just getting together and demonstrating against something they disagree with in the government? How do you support that? You know, those are the kind of questions and more. Obviously, I would have a list, you know, and I would really have some targets of people that I would really try and see when I was there, and some very specific questions about what they've asked, what they voted, and quotes that they've said. I would want to have like an opposition Word doc just on my phone ready to go so I can look up their names and have some questions for them, you know. I don't want to just go in fucking surfing through it, you know. It's got to be it's got to be you know, I got to have my P's and Q's. But you know what? I can credibly call myself an independent journalist. Got a YouTube channel that's political. Cover the news all the time. So I don't see them being able to deny me access to the public parts of the halls of power based on anything that you know, I don't have any kind of a record, state or federal, not a single misdemeanor or felony anywhere on my record. I have only 2 tickets in my whole life, you know what I mean? Like, that's the worst thing. The worst cross with the law that I've ever had was I have a speeding ticket from when I was 18 and a cell phone ticket from when I was 30. You know, they can't deny me. They can't put me on a no-fly list. They can't call me some kind of domestic terrorist, you know? You may scare them too much. I'm sorry, but part of their job is listening to me. I'm a citizen of this country. If they're scared of me, that's not my problem. They need to learn how to talk to people they're scared of then. I'm not going to be making any physically threatening moves towards these people, or threatening any kind of violence towards them or anything. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid, and that's really not my fucking intent anyway. You know, so if they decide that they're, oh, I don't like this guy because he's got a deep voice or he's tall and big, there's nothing I can do about that, you know. These are public servants. These are people that are in elected office who are there to serve my will. You tried calling the Capitol? No, I have not. Bring a goon with a concealed tie. Yeah, that you can't conceal things into the. No, no, no. It wouldn't even be fun. You don't well, then don't watch it then, bitch. I don't care, dude. I'm not gonna go over there and be a meme lord for you, okay? I'll be aggressive in my own fucking way. You guys think I'm just gonna be like, excuse me, can I ask you what you think? No. You're like, Senator, what do you think about the bloodshed in Gaza and your continued votes to stop the peace process there? Have any second thoughts about that? How many babies does it have to be? How many Palestinian babies? 13,000, 20,000, 30,000 Palestinian babies? What's the line? Is there a line for how many babies are slaughtered in the street for you before you take action as a powerful person? Why do you take money from Northrop Grumman and then claim to be anti-war? Why is your campaign and your candidacy funded by the defense industry? How can you balance having the people's best interests at mind, but taking all your money from the defense industry? And does that have anything to do with your constant pro-war voting, Senator? How does Benjamin Netanyahu's jock smell, Senator? How does Benjamin Netanyahu's jock smell? How much do you get paid by Israel to be a shill, Senator? How much is Israel paying you to look the other way while they slaughter babies in the street, Senator? Oh, I'll definitely be doing that. I'm a fucking dude. I'm a total paranoid person. Okay, I have a paranoid streak about a fucking mile long and about a mile thick. Okay, if I do this, and I'm really planning on doing this, I will make a loud public statement about my having no intent to kill myself, about how I enjoy my life and I love my life, and I am planning to come home to my wife after the end of this trip and continue on as I always have. And if I die, be suspicious. I'm in good health. I got a clean bill of health from my doctor. My heart is good. My lungs are good. My liver is good. All my blood work is good. I don't have cancer. I don't have any fucking last minute heart defect or something. I've got an echocardiogram. Okay? If I die, be suspicious. I was murdered. You bet your ass I'll be making that statement. I ain't about to get Epsteined. No, sir. And if I do, you guys are going to know it happened. Doesn't seem to matter. Well, that's fine. I know it doesn't seem to matter, but I want that statement on record. I want that statement on record. Before I go and do any kind of fucking in-person activism, especially in the fucking ultimate halls of power of the planet, that statement will be on record. I'll be upfront and blunt about that. I will tell everybody the medications I'm on even. Because I want no fucking speculation. I will tell people I've struggled with mental health problems in the past. I've been through years of talk therapy since my darkest days, and I am currently medicated and stable and loving my life, and I have no intent to end it early, nor do I have any kind of outstanding medical problem that can be found by modern medical testing that would cause my untimely death. You bet your ass, dude. I go to do some fucking activism. That's gonna be on. I mean, it already is. That was my statement that I will make it again publicly. Death. Too much salt. Actually, what Bush did to his friend and what the Clintons have done to what, like 5 or 6 people now and counting. You love my outfit? Thanks. I just bought myself a bunch of new t-shirts, and one of my projects while Amelia is gone to keep myself busy is I'm going to go through my closet and I'm going to throw away. I don't know if, is anybody else like this? Can anybody else identify with this? So I have trouble throwing clothes away. So I literally have clothes in my closet that are from 20 or more years ago, okay? That I've had. They're shirts that are raggedy, that have like holes in them. They're all fucked up, and I will not throw them away. And the last 2 days, I've had to go out a lot. I've been running a lot of errands and shit. And like, I would go to my closet. Okay, let me get changed so I can go out, you know? And I would look for a shirt, and every fucking time I went to look for a shirt, it was like, nope, 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 nope. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go through my closet this week, and I'm going to grab every shirt. And if it's a nope, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to go like, what if I was going to the movies right now? Would I wear this out in public? No, it's gone. No, it's gone. Yes, it stays. No, it's gone. I'm getting rid of all my shit, all my holy socks, all my raggedy underwear that are starting to get all ratty around the waistline and shit that I've had for fucking 6 years. All that shit is going. And I've just ordered myself 10 brand new t-shirts that are perfectly sized, various colors, cool shit on them that I like. Got that done. Once I see what my sock and underwear situation is, I'm gonna keep workout clothes and my comfy pajama pants and stuff. I'm not getting rid of everything. I'm just gonna get rid of anything that's got holes in it, anything that's over like 10 years old and is starting to get threadbare, or has a big grease stain on it, or has fucking just raggedy under the armpits, or the fucking graphic is so raggedy you can't even read what it was anymore. All that shit's gone, bro. It's going away. There's a couple of sweaters that I have that are just fucking falling apart. Those are going, dude. Those are going. You could throw it all away. I just keep on wishing that the money made you stay. My price went up, your price went up, we went our separate ways. Why, where did Amelia go? The why is none of your business. It's a family emergency. Where is none of your business? It's a family emergency. Sorry, I don't mean to be a dick about it, but she's out of town for a week, okay? She won't be here. She will be elsewhere for a week. Another errand I gotta get done this week. I have taken my wedding ring, because this is my sizer ring that I always wear. Because my wedding ring is just like a little weird. It needs sizing and a little bit of work done on it. And so I'm going to take that in and drop that off. I've got a watch that I can't change the strap on. I'm going to take that to the jeweler and I'm going to ask if he could put a nylon strap on it for me. And that's another thing I got to do one of these days. I got some fucking shit on my plate, okay? What is Amelia's coordinates and SSN? Okay, coordinates are 137 north by northwest, 227 bilateral by northeast, okay? And her social security number is 123456789, okay? Does that help? Is that enough info? Her phone number is 555 555555, okay? Got to drop an eagle on her position. Oh no. You ever think about getting one of those safety rings to prevent degloving injuries? No. If I get my finger degloved by my fucking wedding ring, that's badass, bro. That's bad fucking ass, bro. That's one of those like old man injuries that you could talk about, you know what I mean? When will you do a patron ideology? This week, I think. I'll have to look at our calendar, but I think it's either this week or next week that my patron's ideology is. And I was thinking we might watch like a shitty movie together. I don't know what we're gonna do. I want to try and make a plan for it. I had a tungsten wedding ring in my previous marriage. This one is stainless steel, which is not much better, but tungsten is especially like it will not break. They cannot cut it. So they have to just amputate your finger, basically. So yeah, I had a tungsten wedding ring in my previous marriage, and it was stained with cobalt, and I found out I have a cobalt allergy. I guess like a contact allergy with cobalt. Go fucking figure. And so it ate my finger alive. I used to have to paint the inside of my old wedding ring with clear nail polish. Are you an Ingmar Bergman fan? Kinda, but not. You know, like honestly, one of the gaps in my kind of like cinephile knowledge are some of the older classics. Like I've seen quite a few old, kind of like pre-talkies and then early talkies, but I'm really kind of there's a gap there, you know. Yeah, that's a cool ring. My ring is gold. or well, the ring I want to get sized. It's gold and it's got Irish runes carved around it and stuff, and a little message to Amelia on the inside of it. It's a pretty ring, and I really want to start wearing it, but you know, it just doesn't fit right. It's uncomfortable on my hand, so I want to get the jeweler to fix it. Is there a torture worse than death? I'd say degloving or finger snipping. Man, can we not, dude? Dude, some of you guys have a real dark fucking kind of place, you know, and that's coming from me. But I really am like, I understand now. You know what? I'm going to say some shit that's probably going to get me made fun of. I kind of understand now why, for the last 3 years, there seemed to be a growing sentiment amongst my fans that they didn't like me anymore. That was a hard thing to read from people. I'm just going to be fucking real with you guys, okay? That was a hard thing to read because, man, I was trying so hard. I was so sick and so tired and just so fucking, my body was just shutting down, you know? And I was trying so hard to be good for you guys and to be fun for you guys and to remain engaged with something. And what it ended up being was I just kind of obsessed about singular topics. I couldn't really broaden my perspective much. I was very quick to snap to judgment, quick to get salty. I was very repetitive. All those things were very true, man. And if I fucking lashed out at you because you said something like that, make this a public apology, okay? I was really trying hard, though, and know that that lash out was because I really didn't want things to be that way. And the fact that you were kind of calling it out that way made it hurt my feelings, but that's not an excuse to not be straight up about it. I don't know how you come to people and go like, I think I might be dying. I don't know what's going on with me. The doctors have not been able to help me. You know, I think I might be dying because I just feel like ass all day. I don't sleep at night. When I do, I just feel like I'd never slept. Eating like a pig and I can't stop. I can't stop myself. I got no self-control. You know, all that shit. I don't know how to come to people with that because I feel like, oh, excuses, excuses, excuses. So my idea was the show must go on, which that, you know, that comes from my theater training. The show must go on as a fucking real thing that's drilled into my head. And but I think what I shortchanged my audience, not intentionally, but I did for a while. And you know, that sucks. But now, you know, to tie it all together with the recent thing, now, like when you guys some of you guys that didn't care so much or didn't mind so much when I was in a dark place, you guys go to a dark place, I notice it, man, and it makes me really pay attention to that. Because you guys used to hear that out of my mouth all the time on these, and you stuck with me, and I appreciate that for that. You know what I mean? I really do. I just wanted to go on record for saying that now that I'm feeling better, and I know it's not a quirk or just like a manic period of my life. Like I've been to the doctor and confirmed that my health is way better, my mental health is way better. You know, and this is obviously those of you that suffer with mental illness and physical illness. That the way that you hear me now is way closer to the person that I really want to be and think that I am. You know, than the person that struggles so hard to entertain you even when he's feeling awful. So, just so you know. As long as the salt flows, we do not mind the sugar. Okay. I have autism and I struggle to express anything and it hurts. I'm sorry. I lost a lot of friends too to my mental health as well, man. And I got to give myself some blame. Some people just walked out on me, man, when I needed them. But you know, it's up to them. Maybe I was a little toxic for them. Maybe they didn't really like me all that much all those years, you know. I look at it as a win. You know, if one person in a party wants to walk away and the other one doesn't, that's not a healthy relationship. So good on them. But yeah, I have to put my foot in the ring too. It takes two to tango, and it was my mental health that probably pushed them to the brink. Just me not being okay most of the time and having you know, I'm a talented guy, actor, but I'm not talented enough to hide it sometimes. You know, I'm a kind of middling talent when when it comes to that stuff, and I'm just not good enough to put on the happy face every day for you guys. And I try though. Well, I understand what you're saying, but I can't be like, if I'm feeling down, I can't be like every day. You guys aren't my therapists, and you're not my wife, and you're not my best friends. And so I can't, like, it's not content for me to just come here and cry about how bad I feel every day. But I get what you're saying. How did you know the sleep you were getting was not genuine sleep? So I would sleep sometimes an absurd amount of time, like 10, 12 hours straight, right? And I would wake up and I would be just as exhausted as when I went to bed, sometimes even more. It would take me an hour and a half to wake up in the morning. And when I say wake up, I mean get to the point where my brain was lucid and that I could talk to somebody without snapping at them. I was awful in the mornings. I used to just have to sequester myself away from Amelia because she's the sweetest woman I've ever known. And I would never snap at her. And I don't think, it wasn't like I was on the edge of it, but I was just like, I don't even want to attempt it. I just need to be by myself for the first half hour to an hour in the morning so that they're not getting this clouded judgment. And now when I wake up, I literally will, some days I'll jump out of bed and start doing my yoga immediately. I just have all this energy, so that's how I know. And I'm doing that on half that amount of sleep. Like I would get 10 hours and feel like I got shit. Now if I get 5 hours on the CPAP, I struggle to get more. Because if I wake up to pee or something at the 5 or 6 hour mark, my body's like bing. But I get up first thing in the morning and I do my yoga, I do all my stretches, I come out here, I start some coffee, I stand in the sun, I let that sun just bathe my face. I do my yoga poses out here, my sun salute. And I do a little bit of meditation in the morning, and then I'm ready to fucking rock, dude. And it's all good natured and it's all great, and I'm all smiles when I'm doing it. I can hear my wife having apnea episodes at night, but she won't go get a sleep study done. Any advice to convince someone? Nah, man, I don't know. Like I went and did the sleep study twice, and I've had 2 apnea machines now. The first one they gave me, it was years and years ago. It was like 2014, I think, or 2013, when I got it. And it's a full face mask. I couldn't tolerate it. I couldn't find a comfortable spot, and I just gave up on it. And then this time it's a new mask. It's a new day. It's way comfortable. Like, it actually is more comfortable. For me, it's gotten to the point now where it feels uncomfortable if I'm laying down in my bed without it on, which is crazy. I still have to fiddle with it. I still have to readjust it and stuff. Sometimes it'll slip up the back of my head because I've got long hair and the straps are. But it's really not that big a deal. Once I get it in place and get my head comfortable and get my body comfortable, I'm out, man. It's just so nice. Don't record her without her permission. That's not good advice. Look, ultimately it's up to her. It's her body. You don't, you can't force her to go get it. But you can show her. Like, maybe you could do that. Show her me having a salty fucking rage meltdown, and then show her me having this talk with you. And just and like I'll say it right now. My difference in attitude and the weight loss would not have been possible without CPAP. And I feel great in the morning, and I'm losing weight, and I'm eating better than I ever have in my life, and I've got less cravings and stuff, and I give it all to the CPAP because it happened the day after I first got on it. The first day I was on it, I woke up and it was like the fog lifted for the first time in 3 years. So you show her that. Show her an old rant of me when I was big and fat and salty and crying about fucking Vosh or whatever. And then just say, look at the difference. I'm just saying, but I would be fucking kind of pissed off if somebody recorded me in my sleep and used it in an argument. It's not about, like, privacy. I'm not saying he's, like, breaking any rules necessarily, but no, dude. I gotta go there. Wait, how does sleep apnea affect your eating habits? So here's how it was explained to me and how it's played out in my life, and it's a little complex, but just bear with me, okay? So when you have apnea, like I did, I had pretty severe apnea. Um, your body is not getting the type of restorative energy that it needs when you sleep at night, right? You go to sleep, right? A normal person that doesn't have apnea events during their night, you go to sleep, and the reason for that sleep is restorative, right? Your body banks energy, your body repairs damage from the day, your body shuts down various parts of your systems and regulates your breathing and regulates your brain waves and all of that to make sure that you have a nice stock and store of energy, right, in the morning when you wake up. Okay, so you with me so far? When you have apnea and you're sleeping and you can't get energy that way, your body kicks into hyper mode and it will throw cravings at you for sugar, fat, cholesterol, high density, high caloric foods that are really bad for you. French fries on French fries on French fries. Eat a whole pizza. Grab a fucking family size Skittles and eat it. Nom, 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 because your body is screaming energy, energy. You feel awful. And your body's like, please, caffeine, sugar, anything for a quick boost, right? And when I got on the apnea machine, those cravings went away, bro. I'm not even lying to you. I'm a big fat guy. I don't eat Skittles anymore. I haven't had sweets and I don't know how long. I just don't even crave them. I don't crave the French fries all day. I don't crave the high fat, high calorie stuff. And when I do, I get something that's kind of like it and I eat it and it's high in fiber and it's high in plant protein. And when I'm done eating it, guess what? The craving is gone. You know? That's how it changed. And that tracks according to what I was told by my doctor to expect and other resources I've looked into for people with apnea that are on CPAP. People sometimes will lose upwards of 100 pounds just when they get on CPAP, and I'm on my way to that right now. Is getting a sleep study the first step in the process? The first step in the process is going to your doctor and getting referred to a pulmonologist and sleep specialist. It's usually one doctor. That doctor will give you an examination, will ask you questions, and then we'll schedule probably first an at-home sleep study. You'll take up a little box home. There's a little thing you wear on your head. There's some electrodes you got to stick to your body, and you try and sleep with it. The at-home studies are notoriously inaccurate, and there's a good chance you'll take it back to your doctor, and he'll say, we need to have you do an inpatient sleep study. If that's the case, they will book you at a sleep center near you. You will show up usually around 7:30 at night or 8. You should come tired and comfortable. They will hook you up to a more sophisticated version of the at-home sleep study with a bunch of diodes and electrodes and shit. You lay down, and you go to sleep. Skittles are good, but after I eat them, there's always this vague feeling of regret. Like, man, what have I done? Well, that's because you know in your heart of hearts that it's just a fistful of sugar. Like, you may as well have just went and grabbed some rock sugar and dumped some chemicals on it and just ate that. You know what I mean? That's what it is. They are a regretful food. I feel the same thing about eating a whole bag of flaming hot Cheetos, which, by the way, I haven't had those in over 3 months and counting now. You eat a whole bag of flaming hots, right? And at the end of that, you're like, dude, I just ate deep fried leftover cheese product with a bunch of chemicals dusted all over it and food dyes. What have I done? Like, the nutritional value of what I just spent all fucking 45 minutes eating and now I've got Cheeto fingers from is zero. It's actually a negative. I just hurt my body by putting that in it. Awesome. It's an addiction. Doing something that you know is terrible. Yes, it's true. It's very true. One of the things that I've regained the ability to do that I feel like was like a part of my language center that was almost shut down by my just lack of sleep and my illness, what is, you guys may notice I'm talking a little bit slower and I'm enunciating a little bit better. I felt like I was, I was like, I would have these bursts of things to say and I would lose steam in the middle because I would lose track. That's not happening to me anymore because I'm able to employ this tactic of drawing out my syllables and taking time to say what I've got to say. I know it drives some people a little bit nuts, but it really helps me to be clear. it's something I used to struggle with when I was a kid too. I was a fast talker, and sometimes I'd get garbled. It wasn't like a stutter or like a even. I don't think it ever rose to the level of a speech impediment, but I used to have trouble as a kid getting it out sometimes. Like because I would have 10 words in my head, and moderating my tone and moderating the speed at which I speak. I learned to do this years and years ago. And it's something that requires conscious effort when I'm talking, but it's not because I've done it for so long. I'm just saying it's a part of my brain that I can engage easily again, which I wasn't able to access really all that much, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago. Oh my God, a year ago, especially, I was real bad, guys. Real bad. And I tried to tell the guys a little bit, but it's like it's the same thing with them, right? You can't go to your coworkers and tell them every day how bad your mind is, how bad your anxiety is, how bad your body feels, how much fatter you've gotten and how you can't stop eating and all that shit. And they can't heal. And so even they were kind of left hanging with me, not knowing what was going on with Paul. And I feel bad that I put people through that. This is who I want to be. Maybe not this weight, but like this person. And I really have to hold on to it and keep doing. I have to stick to it for longer than just months. I'm doing good. Pat myself on the back, but I can't get complacent and I can't let myself slip back there. Because when I think of Paul's ego in my head, this is the person, for good or for ill, that I think of. I'm still loud and I'm still passionate and I'm still obnoxious, but, I can be understood. I can access my full vocabulary, and I'm not just mad and sad at everything. Which is nice. Soon it will just be the way it is. I'm so glad to hear that. That's very nice and encouraging. Thank you for saying that. Lifestyle change, not diet. Yes, absolutely. I don't call it a diet. You're right. Because it really isn't. I'm not counting calories. I'm not weighing myself. I'm in 30 yet, but everything you're describing makes me kind of want to get a study done. Go get it, dude. Age doesn't matter. There are like fucking 15-year-olds that are diagnosed with severe apnea and they're in shape and they're athletes. Like, you don't have to be fat. You don't have to be old. It affects the broad swath of humanity. So if you feel like you're not getting enough sleep at night and shit, even though you should be, go get a study done if you can. I'm not trying to be over evangelize it or whatever, but it is like, I really wouldn't mention it to you guys if it hadn't been such a fucking immediate turnaround. Immediate and noticeable turnarounds. I remember, I'm assuming you went on these 2 massive tirades about people who don't like Elon Musk, and I remember thinking there had to be more than just a disagreement going on. I mean, maybe. I don't remember what you're talking about specifically. Sounds like something I would have said. And yeah, I think a lot of people fucking felt that way one way or the other. I mean, I'm very, very open about the fact that my mental health is not great. It's better now than it has been in my life, and I've done a lot of therapy, and I'm medicated, and everything's cool. But I'm very open about the fact that my mental health is not great. And so I think people extrapolate a little too much sometimes, but I also think people have good instincts about it sometimes and can kind of see which way the wind is blowing with me. It does put a lot of stress on your heart. Yeah, it does. They try using a written calendar for maintaining discipline. Nope. No, I don't work well off of calendars and stuff. And I really am not looking to create like a fucking hard and fast routine because my life doesn't really work well with that. I don't have the same days every week. I'm busy. I travel a lot. And so, I just need to have a thing. My yoga has been really good because I do it every morning. I'm never just jumping out of bed and going somewhere. I do yoga every morning out in the sun with the sun on my face as long as it's not raining. And it feels so good. It gives such a good start to my day. And then I come out and I do it multiple times during the day too. And so it's not just one time, it's like 3 or 4 times during the day. I do a full rotation of like very low impact but high energy for me yoga poses. My flexibility is through the fucking roof, man. Through the roof. I can bend down and touch the ground with my palms now. Palms on the ground, man. I used to not even be able to make it halfway past my knees with my fingertips. My hamstrings, my calves, all those muscles in my legs and back and core have started to wake up and get, you know, blood supplies getting in there. And I can feel that I'm toning a little bit. Like my core is sore some mornings, you know, in a good way. I haven't started doing walking yet. And I'll tell you why. And this is, you know, I understand this is not right because I could do the walking. When I went to Pismo, Amelia and I walked miles and miles and miles in one single day. And every day we were there, we were walking at least a mile. And I was fine. My feet hurt. I'm flat footed. My knees hurt. I have really bad knees. My back hurt. I have a really bad back, scoliosis. But I was manageable. Versus a few months ago, I was real fat, real sick. And I talked to Amelia. I was like, I feel like I'm dying, baby. I said, I feel like I have to do something because if I keep gaining weight, I'm just going to die. And I don't want to leave you a widow at fucking 25 and all that. That's fucking awful. I got to do something. I want to try and walk. And she said, okay, we'll go on a walk. I got comfortable. I was big and fat, man. 300 and probably 70 pounds or so, I would imagine at this point. I'd put myself in that wheelhouse, which for me, that's huge, man. For anybody, that's huge. And we went on a little walk around the neighborhood, right? We went down to the corner and then went to the main street. We walked down to the stop sign. By the time we got there, I almost wanted to say, baby, can I sit on the curb and have you come pick me up? I was getting winded. I was having trouble getting my breath. I felt sick. I was sweating all up under my armpits and my face. And it was just like a cool evening. It was a midwinter's evening. So it was cold and I was sweating and shivering and like, it was fucked, man. I really barely made it back to the house and I only went like a quarter mile, maybe a half mile. And it was a leisurely walk. So from that, right, to just footpath all over Pismo, all up and down the beach, back and forth to our hotel, which is like a mile from the beach. So but I've been scared to do it because, man, I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital after that walk. And it really was disheartening to me, guys. When I had that, when I was like, fuck, dude, I can't even walk, man. And it was like a few weeks before the meetup. Dude, that Vegas meetup, I had so much fun and it was so cool. But I got to tell you guys, I was so low. Mentally awful. Physically awful. I was fat. I was sick. I hadn't slept in years. I was just awful, guys. And I barely made it through that shit. I was so sore and my just pain from just standing there. You know. And that is all gone, or at least gone to a point where it's manageable. The pain is manageable. I can stay out for hours. I can talk to people. I can walk around. I can do like mild cardio to moderate cardio and walk around and ambulate and all that fucking shit, right? Without feeling like I'm gonna die, without going into a flop sweat. So that's progress, man. That's major progress. I have not started the cardio yet, but Amelia and I are talking about doing evening walks 3 or 4 days a week. I want to start by doing that same walk at the same pace, see how I feel at the end of it. We're also moving, and not to give away my location, but the place that we're moving has a million walking trails and paths, a lot of nature. And so I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So that's on my plan, all right? It's on my plan. I just got scared, man. You guys don't understand maybe, and I hope you never have to feel that way. Like, oh my God, dude, I'm legit fucking 40 something. My heart could be giving out. You know, I might be having a heart attack, or this might be the beginnings of a heart event. You know, it's scary to be that big and to not know it until you find out, you know. Oh, there's a lot of work ahead of me, Danny. I'm not a prideful person, so I won't say proud, but I am happy. I'm happy because I feel like I'm better and more competent in my job. I feel like I've been a better husband to my wife, and she deserves way better even than that. But I feel like I'm a better friend to Dinor and to my friends, and I'm a better family member to my family, to the best I can be. So yeah, that's all worth celebrating at the very least. Bicycles are tough on my knees. The one kind of cardio thing that I was able to do on a machine was I do really well on an elliptical because those take away the knee pressure of the arc and just get the cardio in. Swimming also would be good, but I don't have a pool, you know. You guys know that. I was poor as a kid. I have a bad back. I didn't have a pool growing up, etc. But swimming really is the best one for me. So when we get moved, I'm going to see if I can join the YMCA or like a gym that's maybe got like a swimming, like a lap pool in it so that I can go and do that. But I'm doing really well, guys. That's, you know, the TLDR of it. Yeah, both my knees are real bad, guy. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I had a real severe dislocation injury to my left knee when I was a kid. My right knee is compensated with my fat ass all my life, and it's bad too. I did a lot of like suboptimal lifting and all of that in my previous job. And as a result of that, my back and my legs or my knees are real bad, you know. I got to be very careful because I will blow them out. Hope you stick with this. I have every intention to. It's been very simple, and that's a good thing for me. It's not. It doesn't feel like a struggle every day, man. The food thing just kind of happened overnight. I love the food that I'm eating, and I love the fact that I don't gorge myself. I love the fact that I'm in tune with my body's nutrition needs in a way that my body has just never had in my adult life. Like I know when I'm full, and I stop eating. So if I order something like I'm probably gonna get a Chipotle today because I've been thinking about it. I want to get like a sofritas burrito. I'll probably eat half of it and throw the rest away. And that sucks, but you know what I mean? I'd rather do that than gorge myself on too much food. I just don't do that anymore, man. I haven't had one of those times where I was like, oh, I ate too much, I'm gonna die. I haven't felt that. I know what hunger feels like now, which sounds silly, but I don't know that I credibly say that I was like really hungry for years and years. I now know what that is, and how that feels with my adult body and all that. Excuse me. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Stay right where you are. Just stay where you are, my feet. Oh, okay. I'm back. Ah, oh. You know what I'm lucky about? Just water with a squirt of Mio in it. I did a half squirt of the lemonade Mio and a half squirt of the fruit punch Mio. It's all sugarless. Water is just so refreshing and fruity now, you know? I drink like 3 of these a day. Staying hydrated has been another thing too. Ugh. I'm actually Jamaican and it's not that good. Chinese make the best Jamaican food. Good to know. I would think the Jamaicans make the best. You know what I want to do one day? I want to go live with the Rastafari for a couple of days, man. I want to stay near them and eat like they do and let them put dreadlocks in me hair, man. No. I want to take a white boy vacation to Jamaica at some point and just kind of smoke some weed and chill. Paul, I'm honestly curious about your position. We'll see about that. How do we obtain power on the left, taking your position on voting? I've never heard you explain this all the way through, and I'm curious. Okay. So I would hearken you back to pretty recent American history, and there was a dual protest movement going on in the 60s here in the United States, and they joined together under some of the very self-same auspices that people are protesting now, right? There was a very large anti-war protest, and there was a very large pro-civil rights demonstration and protest movement going on. We're talking about the hippies and Martin Luther King and his followers. And there were mass national demonstrations where hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people would show up. And it became so big and such an international news story that the American government could no longer ignore the will of the people like they're doing right now when it comes to Palestine. Overwhelming majority of people support stopping the bombing. Overwhelming majority of people have flipped the script on Ukraine. It's just like Americans clearly want the United States to pull back from its military misadventures and to reinvest here, okay? And to stop shedding Palestinian blood and Arab blood, and stop facilitating the continued shedding of Israeli blood, and stop, right? That is what the American people are saying. The American people also overwhelmingly support a single-payer government subsidized healthcare system. Overwhelming. It's like 72% of people. I think it's 70+% of people nationally support removing marijuana from the federal schedule altogether, not moving it down the schedule, completely removing it as a controlled substance and allowing people to purchase it and grow it freely. Overwhelming majority of people support this. The politicians are not listening. The Democrats, who are supposed to be the stopgap between us and fascism, are acting like fascists. So we need to get together. These pro-Palestinian protests, mostly going on college campuses, need to grow, spill out of the campuses and into the streets. There needs to be mass mobilization of people under the banner of economic justice, social justice, and anti-war policy. And if we did that and 3 million people were camped out in the National Mall chanting no justice, no peace, it might take a while, and a few of them might get pepperballed and gaffled up by the cops. They can't do it to 2 million of us, though. And at the end of the day, they will fold, just like they did in the 60s, just like they did on civil rights, just like they did on Vietnam and Cambodia, okay? They will fold like a cheap suit. That's the only way they'll fold. You can't do that at the polls. You can't do that on Twitter or TikTok, okay? You have to do it, man. You have to show up, and you have to get as many people as you can to show up, and you have to promise yourself that you're in it to win it, and you have to go with a full heart and let the energy of that activism feed you when you're hungry, okay? And stand there and sing and chant with these people. They will move. That's my politics, okay? If you have any questions, you seem to be like a dude that was not trolling. So if you have any questions or clarifying questions, I'm watching out for you, okay? I will answer whatever I can. How would you speak to a Jewish friend about Israel? I would just talk common sense to them. I would say there's a difference between anti-Semitism and not wanting to support butchery. And there's no excuse for what's going on. October 7th was horrible. Hamas was horribly brutal to kill children and women and kidnap people. I do not stand with that. But this is not proportional in any way. This couldn't even be called proportional. This is collective punishment. This is a medieval siege. This is just the facts. That's how I would say. It probably wouldn't make a dent. Because it would depend on the friend. There are a lot of Israelis and a lot of Jews that are not supportive of the Netanyahu government. So, as it would depend on that as well, right? Anyway, maybe I missed my dude. But in the 60s, they got Nixon. He still continued Vietnam, even worse. I agree. Well, right, but then it ended. It ended under the Nixon presidency for a reason. And not only that, LBJ actually stepped down and refused to run a second time because people were so sick of his lies and his double dealing in fucking Vietnam. Nixon also did a treason. He sabotaged peace talks in Saigon, sent his agents in to sabotage the peace talks so that it would look bad for the Democratic nominee. Okay? But here's something else you may not know about Nixon. Nixon is the most based president that we've had since FDR when it comes to leftist policy being implemented at a federal level. Nixon and his presidency started the EPA. Nixon and his presidency started SNAP, which would become the federal food stamps program. Nixon and his presidency was the first presidency to establish a national federal stipend for kids who couldn't afford food to have school lunches for free. He did more in those three things than Clinton and Obama did together in their presidencies. Not saying I agree with his drug war shit, his warmongering, his lying, his cheating, his stealing, his thieving. I'm just saying, look at how far the fucking Overton window has shifted. Where if you were to just take the name Nixon off of that and put a Democrat name, we'd be crowing about it. We'd be going, based. That's how far it's gone, dude. That's where the cookie crumbles now, man. I hate to be the one that had to tell you, but at least somebody told you. It's like you got a booger hanging and nobody told you. Well, now you know, and you can fucking blow out the booger. Well, it's uncomfortable, but it's true. Did I miss any other ones from you? G.I. Joe, real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. Reagan pushed super hard and actually granted amnesty to over 1 million undocumented workers during his presidency. The biggest amnesty in American history for undocumented people on our soil. That was Reagan, to remind you. Not trying to say the Republicans are based, trying to point out how far the Overton window has screamed to the right in just my lifetime, bros. And if you think it's going to stop or slow down in yours, you're sadly mistaken. You're looking at the jackboot if you don't stop it now, and Biden ain't stopping it. He's a fascist. And I was saying that before Palestine and before Ukraine and before his dithering on the Union. I was saying that before he was elected in 2020. This is indistinguishable from a fascist. This guy is a racist, opposed school busing, called black people super predators, wrote and passed the crime bill that put a generation of black men in prison. He has stood with corporate interests. He spoke at the fucking funeral for a KKK grand wizard that was serving in the fucking Congress. This guy is a white, racist, corporatist, fascist. And I called it way back when he was still just a candidate. And everybody for fucking years has been calling me retarded, calling me a LARPer, calling me a tanky, doing whatever they can to legitimize this old motherfucker. And now they can't do it anymore because they can't figure out how they're going to support him while he's crushing them. How am I going to support this guy while he's crushing my friends in the street? How am I going to support this guy when he's blowing up my family members in Palestine? This motherfucker is shooting himself right in the foot, and these libs are going to sleepwalk right into another Trump presidency. And you know what they're going to do? Watch for it. If that happens, they'll flip right around and blame me and my ilk. You should have voted. Even though I'm in California and my vote never mattered anyway, it'll be my fault, not their fault for riding with Biden, my dude, while he did a genocide. It'll be my fault. Watch them. It's predictable as the setting of the sun, bro. Just as the sun will set in the fucking east and rise, or sorry, set in the west and rise in the east, these motherfuckers will blame me and people like me if Trump gets in office. Not themselves for backing the weakest Democratic candidate in my lifetime. Total warmonger, genocidal maniac, ancient, decrepit, demented freak that is Joe Biden. Rapist. Got it? And I've been saying the same thing. When you look back over the last 6 years of my politics, you know what you're going to find? Consistency. Now, that may not matter to you, but I've never had to tap dance on a fucking national issue. My politics stay the same, whether Biden does an open fascism or not. Got it? I don't have to go, can I support him and denounce the fascism that he's clearly letting happen? You never see that from me. You never see Paul's ego unsure how to fucking take a line down this, so he contradicts himself one line to the next. That just doesn't happen with me, guys, because my politics have been the same for about 15 fucking years. Okay, and before that, they were pretty fucking leftist before that. Okay, but I was a DNC show. Okay? And I'll tell you that straight up. I was out there canvassing. I was out there trying to get my friends to take it seriously and bite the bullet and vote for these corporatists. And it bought me nothing. It bought me nothing. The world is worse now than it was 20 years ago. This is the first generation of children who have it worse than their parents. Okay? It's time to stop it. And nobody seems to be with me, or very few people do. You know, a lot of people in here, but I'm just saying in general, riding with Biden seems to be the sentiment, and I don't understand that. I agree with everything you just said, forgive me, but I heard you advocate for third parties. I feel the social movement history shows that third parties are ineffective. Third parties are ineffective. Why? Because nobody participates in them. Why? Because third parties are ineffective. Why? Because nobody participates in them. Why? Because third parties are ineffective. Why? Because nobody participates in them. Why? Because third parties... You get it? We call that circular reasoning, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold up to the barest logical scrutiny. Third parties will work if we convince people to do it. Are third parties ineffective, or is it because they don't have a chance in the system rigged against them? It depends on who you're talking to and what is most beneficial for their shitty, slimy argument, to be honest with you. You'll hear both. It's cope. They can't suppress 3 million people that'll hit the streets if they don't give us a spot on the fucking debate stage. They can't do it, dude. You guys don't understand. Suppressed... It happens when there's only 20,000 people and only 5 or 10,000 of those are even willing to show up to a protest. Yeah, of course they're going to squash that. There's 3 million of us backing a new labor or a fucking economic justice candidate. They can't crush it. They can't stop it, and they can't deny us. We'll shut it down. We'll shut the economy down. We'll shut the fucking in New York City Stock Exchange down. We'll put the Capitol on its heels. That's the only way, though. It's the only power we have over them. They have all the vested power within the system. So anybody asking you to go vote right now is just prolonging the inevitable just wanting to remain comfortable while the world starts to burn around them in hopes that they're fucking 70 or 80 when they kick, and that'll be when the catastrophe really kicks in. That's fucking doomerism. You ain't hearing that from me, and you never have. Okay? Anybody telling you that you have any vested power in the political halls as a citizen is a liar, and they're ignorant of American history. Okay? The only power that you have is the power that we have as a group. The people united will never be defeated. There's a reason they chant that at these big fucking rallies, because it's true. And it's the only political truth that you're ever going to hear out of me, because the rest of it is all up in the air. The people have to decide this far and no farther, because if we keep giving them rope, we keep voting for the vampires, we keep voting for the fascists, we keep scaremongering ourselves into thinking that the DNC is somehow a fucking viable alternative to the other fascists. The longer we keep doing that, the more they will take, and the harder it will be to take it back. And if you want proof of that, read recent American history, starting in just post-Civil War era. Look at the labor protests that started unionization in this country. Look at the robber barons and realize that people are worse off now than they were then, when anarchists and Marxists and communists were taking to the streets and taking their workers' rights and getting shot, killed in the streets by the cops, attacked by the military, abandoned by the politicians. You know what the first lesson that movement learned was? They had, at the time, because of the party switch, a Republican politician who sucked up to them and was like, I support you. I support you. I won't let anything bad happen to you. And they all voted for him. And when he got into office, he sold them out to Jay Gould. And you know what the first lesson they learned was? And they talked about it. There is no friend for us in the halls of power. Period. That lesson was learned by your fucking ancestors in this country just post-Civil War, and at the cost of their blood, sweat, and tears. You've got a 40-hour work week, you've got paid time off, you've got medical leave, you've got all the fucking things that are eroding. That's where it came from. And they're taking it all back from you right now. Right now. They're taking it all back from you. Are you going to sit on your ass? Your ancestors didn't. And they certainly didn't funnel any of their power or belief into politicians. You can look it up. This is not theory. This is not my opinion. This is history. It is written. Go look it up. They didn't work with the Democrats. They didn't work with the Republicans. They stopped the gears of industry with their bodies and at the cost of their lives sometimes. And they got you your fucking protections. And now they've taken about a quarter of them back and they're coming for the rest. What are you going to do about it? They didn't campaign for people. They didn't fucking spin their fucking audiences and the people listening to them to go simp for the DNC. They didn't coddle up to the Joe Bidens of the time. They said, fuck the system, because it's fucked us. We're going to take it. And they did. They hit the streets. They cracked heads. They took over their factories. They did sit-ins. They did political protests. They did non-violent fucking marches. And you know what? The cops cracked their heads. The feds cracked their heads. But at the end of the day, they got their protections. They got their money. They got a living wage. And you know what it set off? A fucking golden age in this country. A golden age where the average fucking family, a blue-collar family, could have one member of it working and buy a house, buy a car, and live a comfortable life with reasonable vacations and leisure time. And they've taken it all back from you. And you're sitting here yelling at me about voting for Biden. That ain't the way, hasn't been the way in the past. That wasn't the way they did it. The fucking leftist movement of the time hated President Johnson. They hated LBJ. LBJ was a Democrat. Go find me any evidence of that movement, the civil rights movement and the hippie anti-war, anti-Vietnam, anti-Cambodia movement, right? Anti-war. Go find me anybody saying, well, vote for LBJ, my guy. You know what you'll hear out of them? Fuck that liar, LBJ. Fuck that liar, LBJ. No, we will not go. That's what you'll hear out of them. You're not going to hear them going, well, my dude, the political calculus is Joe Biden is 2% less fascist than Donald Trump is, my guy. You will not hear any analog to that coming out of any activist at points when leftism has won in this country. And if you can find one, send it to me and I'll correct myself. Hint, you're going to find zero. You're going to find a goose egg. You know why? Because it never happens out that way. And this motherfucker is selling you dreams. He's selling you sit on your ass and do nothing dreams. When the only time leftism has been effective in this country is when it has mobilized 1 million people and planted them in Wall Street and planted them in the National Mall and planted them at the courthouses of every city in this country until people moved, until the Congress undeadlocked itself, until the president grew a conscience. That's how it works. That's how it's done. And if you're not willing to put your ass on the line, then you can't be a political person in this. You can't call yourself a leftist. You're a liberal. Leftists put their ass on the line. Leftists fight. We're not pussies. We fight. The Democratic Party is a pussy party. All they do is roll over and cry about, oh, the Republicans are obstructing. That's not leftism. That's liberalism. That's pussy shit. You can't call yourself a leftist anymore if that's your politics. You're a lib. Start owning it. And give me your argument for when liberalism has helped workers or working families or poor people or immigrants or migrants or people of color in this country. I'll wait. Everything that we've won has come at the blood and cost of protest, mass social movements, mass civil disobedience. Everything. I don't know how to say it. I don't speak no other languages. Okay? I hope that answers your questions, my guy. I can't fill you in on any specifics because I'm not in the same place as you, man. I just told you my politics. That is my politics. You go look at the last 15 minutes of this if you want to know what Paul's politics are, okay? It's all there. The basis, the etymology, the proof, the historicity, and the position, okay? It's all there. If you have any more questions, I don't think I can help you anymore. I can't. I mean, I'll try, but it's all there for the listening. It's all there for the unpacking. I really think it was pretty clear and direct, okay? If you can engage me on those terms, I'll argue with you all day about the wisdom of my position. And I'll provide you facts, and I'll provide you figures, and we'll keep doing that. I'm fine with that. Now, you're going to have to realize that my position is not some wacky fucking pie-in-the-sky thing, okay? This is leftism. This is how it works in America, okay? And there's nothing new under the sun. The capitalist cabal that's taken over the government has done it before. Look up the robber barons. Look up Jay Gould. Look up Rockefeller. Okay? Got it? Are we making sense today, fellas? I sure do hope so, because I feel like I'm making a whole lot of sense. Wonder how many times you've talked about this? Hundreds. That's another thing, Medspeds. It's a lot of people will say, "Oh, this guy's just to do nothing. All he does is talk." All I've done is defend my fucking political positions and explain them hundreds and hundreds of times publicly. So keep that in mind when you look at these people that just seemingly intentionally misunderstand my argument. These are people that have absolutely no core at them that wants the truth. They want to hear somebody tickle their ear with the easy route. You know what the easy route is? Keep voting for the libs, my guys, and things will get marginally better. Even though that doesn't bear out. The last 2 generations of kids are worse off than their parents were, statistically speaking. There's a decline. Nobody can buy a home. Nobody can buy a car. Nobody can afford an education. This is new. This wasn't true in the 80s and the 90s. Okay? I mean, you've converted people. That's more than what most of us have done. Honestly, it's better than walking a protest. No, I don't think it is. But I plan to do that too with you guys, right? I plan to take you guys to some fucking stuff. I plan to do my own kind of activism. And, you know, I was talking about it a little earlier. I got some plans and things I want to do. Can't afford to buy groceries for your family anymore. Can't afford to get by without working 2 or 3 jobs. I mean, how much worse does it have to get for you to listen to me? And the answer is, dude, there's a very entitled, very lazy streak in millennials. I know, I got one foot in the millennial generation, trust me. I'm speaking from experience. Okay? We're very coddled. We're very soft. We're very sensitive, and all those things are okay. But when it comes to getting political change done, we really want to find the path of least resistance. And history tells us it's the path of greatest resistance that makes change. So we're going to have to hit the streets. We're going to have to do more than say based when we see pro-Palestinian protesters. We're going to have to go join them. And we're going to have to talk to them about maybe broadening this movement and taking it off campus, taking it to the streets. No, you're not purposefully misrepresenting. I wasn't necessarily talking just to you. You have to understand, man. Try and think about it. Put yourself in my shoes if you can for just 1 second. Hear me out, okay? It has been years for me being called an idiot, a moron, a tanky, a secret Republican, a secret Trump supporter. Everything in the book. And look, it's not new to me. When I was against the Iraq invasion and the invasion of Afghanistan, I was called a terrorist sympathizer, an Osama bin Laden supporter, an Iraqi lover, a raghead lover, a towelhead lover. I was called a Saddam Hussein apologist. I was called a terrorist sympathizer. I was called anti-American, traitorous, treasonous. All these words have been thrown at me since I started taking my very standard and very open anti-war position during the Ukraine build-up. And what was I saying back then? People were saying, oh, this is going to be over soon. Yeah. Russia in shambles. And I said, this is going to go on for years, guys. Here it is, 2 years and counting, still going on. No end in sight, no ceasefire in sight. I was right. I was right. And the fucking victims of my correctness, the victims of people just poo-pooing me and going with the status quo, has been the lives of Ukrainian and Russian people just put in the dirt, okay? And then we started with the don't vote for fucking Joe Biden shit. Why are we talking as leftists about voting for Democrats? Why aren't we taking to the streets? Why aren't we establishing a Labor Party? Why aren't we trying? And people called me every name in the book. Again, I was an ML, I was a tanky, I was a LARPer, I was a genocide supporter, I was a genocide apologist, I was this, I was that, I was a secret Trump supporter, right? The same group of people with the same attitudes came out of the woodwork to call me a leftist, a dyed-in-the-wool labor leftist, that I was a fucking communist, tanky, Putin lover, okay? And it's been, dude, I'm a little on edge from that. I gotta be honest. When people start questioning me like you've been doing, I'm talking to one guy there with the hammer and sickle thing or whatever it was, right? When people start questioning me like this and they're kind of like not really going along with my flow, I feel like it's heading down that way. Because I've been baited into talking to people and then they just go, Lamal, Cope and Seed, ML, Takey, LARPer, right? And they're just not engaging with anything I say. I mean, if you go over to Vosh's subreddit right now and you read anything about me, you know what they'll say? They'll say, Paul's prescriptions are to do nothing. You guys just heard me talk for an hour about how we need to take to the streets and how it's worked in the past, recent American history. This is the way that you fight capital. It's mass civil disobedience. I'm telling people to get out, figure it out. I'm planning on going myself. All this stuff, I just got done telling you guys for like an hour. And if you go over there and talk to them, they will still say Paul's prescriptions are to sit on your hands and do nothing. And somehow that's going to change things. Because they are afraid. A lot of these people don't want to get off their DX racer chairs. A lot of them are held captive. And I hate to say this because people are going to accuse me of being ableist. But I got to tell you, a lot of millennials and early Zoomers, the Zoomers that are older now, in their 20s, a lot of these people have developed these mental health problems, right? And I'm not saying that they're not real, but one of the ways that you fight a mental health problem is you challenge it. So if your mental health problem is telling you just sit in this chair and argue with people on Twitter all day, you go out to a protest. And even if you only stay 15, 20 minutes, you acclimate yourself to what makes you uncomfortable, right? That's how you fight mental illness. And I feel like a lot of the people that stand up against a mass protest movement are just people who are afraid of going outside anymore. And I don't blame them. And I can't claim that I haven't been in that place myself. Dude, for the last 3 years, if somebody knocked on my door, my heart went from 85 beats a minute to 120, like that. Okay? I'm scared, okay? I don't like going out in public sometimes, okay? I don't like people. And it scares me to think about getting my head busted open by a cop, or somebody I love getting killed by a cop, or putting my life and my livelihood and my person on the line, okay? But I tell you what, I'm ready to do it for you and myself and my wife and the people that I love, so that they might have a better fucking future than I had. Okay? And I think you should too. And I think a lot of these people, if they just got a little courage in their hearts and looked into leftism beyond Vosh's prescriptions and the BreadTube's prescriptions, these online guys never want anything solved, guys. They never want anything solved because they make money jumping from one foot to the next. From you guys, from your donos and your support, right? They don't want to. Why would they want to kill the goose that lays the golden egg? Dude, the goose lays the golden egg for me, whether we're doing one thing or another, because I tell you what I think. I don't let you guys control what I say, and some of you leave because of that, and that's your prerogative. But what I'm saying is like, please listen to me, okay? I'm not fucking retarded. I have lived a politically active life. I was raised in a labor household. I canvassed over multiple cycles for the DNC. I used to make these same arguments, guys. And it's not out of disillusionment or being a doomer or anything else that I'm telling you not to bother with the voting rhetoric. Okay? It's because I know that doesn't work. That's not where your power is vested. Okay? I'm trying my best to help. I'm not trying to be destructive. And look, I'm the one guy. You can turn me off. I'm not out here making waves in the world. Nor do I really have fucking aspirations. I love my job, man. If I kept this amount of people forever, I'd be cool. All right? I'm not, I'm not, look, I won't infer Vosh's expectations, but it seems to me that people like him really want to be respected. They really want to be like elevated to these media figures. I don't want that, guys. I just want to be Paul and talk to you, okay? And tell you what I feel, tell you what I know, tell you the history that I've learned and the leftism that I practice and what I see is right, okay? That's all. I'm not driven by a need to make more money. I'm not driven by the need to have people say nice things about me. I'm not driven by the need to have somebody bigger than me notice me and lift me up to their level and help me. I don't need any of that, okay? I'm okay. Even if this job stops, I can go get a 9 to 5. I know how to do that. You know? So please, don't think I'm driven by something else. I really do care. I want better for you. I want better for you. Okay? I really do, you young people. I don't want you to get taken from you what was taken from me and more. That's where I stand with it, man. Do you consider 31 young? Fuck yeah, 31 is young, bro. 31 is right at the start of your 30s. You're just figuring shit out. You're young. You're young. I'm not even old, man. I'm 44, okay? And I talk about being an old man all the time. And that's kind of some negative self-talk, really. It disguises a joke a lot of times. I am getting old. I do feel like my body's not as strong as it used to be, but my mind is every bit as sharp. Call that what it is. I'm not claiming to be the sharpest crayon in the box, okay? But my mind is every bit as sharp as it ever was. In fact, I think more because I have access to the breadth of my lived experience. And I've read a lot of books in the intervening years, right? But I'm still young. All right, my body's kind of fucked up because I worked some really hard jobs for a really long time and I got some physical deficiencies that played into that, right? But I'm still young and vibrant and lucid and here with you, right? So I'd say, Yeah, you're young. Yeah, Meds Peds is a fucking kid to me, and she's older than most of you in here. So, you know. By the way, Meds, everything cool? I haven't heard from you in a while. I kind of miss seeing you hang around and stuff. I hope everything's all right with you and stuff. You were always cool to me, and so I always appreciate seeing you in the chat. And you're one of the people that, like, when you've disagreed with me, I've never felt like you were pushing me up in a corner or trying to misrepresent me. You engaged me on, good ground, and I have always appreciated that about you. I just wanted to tell you that, and I hope you're doing well. Meds Peds, you're more than welcome to join my Discord. I know you maybe kind of like don't want to, but I know you like talking in voice and stuff, and I really am in there a lot, and it's very chill. It's very chill, Meds. Oh, 34 in 2 weeks. Well, happy early birthday, in case I don't get to tell you. But yeah, no, please, like, consider coming to discord.gg/Paul, and everybody else, this goes for you too. I'm dead serious, man. I'm working really hard, and I've cultivated a community, a pretty large community of people who love hanging in the VC, laughing, smoking, chilling, watching movies together, playing games together, talking politics, memeing, all that fun stuff. And it's very low energy, not low energy, it's very chill. The idea is we don't want to get our teeth on edge in there. We're not trying to catastrophize in there. Things get too heavy. We ask people to kind of move to another room and be heavy, you know. So consider it. I'm not telling you that you have to do it, but consider it if you haven't done it. Even if you don't like Discord or whatever, give it a shot. Hey, I could throw it all away. I just keep on wishing that the money made you stay. Well, my price went up, your price went up, we went our separate way. I just keep on wishing that the money made you stay. Mm-hmm. You don't have to VC though. That's the thing. Nobody is going to call you out if you just chill in VC. You can keep your mic muted, camera off, and you can just listen. A lot of people like to do that, man. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to blah, blah, blah. I'll go in there and I'll just listen to the conversation. I'll jump in every once in a while. But nobody's going to make fun of you, okay? Like, I don't let that happen over there. It's not a bully zone. It's meant to be safe for everybody. You can have contrary politics to me and be over there as long as you're not being a dick about it. You're cool, And well, the only one thing I will put my foot down is no fucking homophobia, no biphobia, no transphobia, no othering of any other person based on their fucking gender or sex or all of that. That's a hard rule, okay? I just don't like that shit. That makes people feel like they're not welcome, and that's just not what my server's about. But other than that, you're welcome to come and talk. To the dude that's was asking me questions earlier and stuff. If you feel like we would have a better conversation, or you get to pick my brain more face to face, I invite you, and I won't be mean. I'm not gonna do that. I wasn't mean to you here. I'm not that kind of guy, man. I have a reputation for being kind of a hothead, and it's earned. But in personal communications and stuff, I'm a pretty reasonable guy, pretty easygoing. I might get passionate and stuff, but I'm not gonna fuck you off unless you're being a douchebag or you're too retarded to talk to me. I don't like having my time wasted, but other than that, as long as you're not looking to do that, we're going to be fine. Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so good to eat. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to end this before my phone goes dead, because I got to stay in touch with Amelia because she's traveling all day today, and I need to make sure she's okay. So I'm going to go and probably hang out in my Discord for a little while and see what's cracking over there. So if you're new and you want to come by, I'll help you get your voice channel set up so it's not, the music bot isn't blowing your ear out. We're very welcoming. Everything is chill. Anybody's a spurg to you, they'll get muted or banned. Okay, we're good. So come on over, check it out if you haven't, discord.gg/Paul. And I'll see you guys over there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.